IBM's 5 for 5. It's a materials science year. I'm Tonya Hall, and joining me is Dr. Kathryn Guarini, Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Impact Science at IBM Research. Welcome, Kathryn.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Give us a brief summary of your role at IBM Research, please.
Sure. I lead the overall operations for the division, which is how we assemble our 3,000 research scientists around the globe to tackle some of the most interesting and challenging problems facing society and the world. And in impact science, we apply that to challenges around the future of health, the future of work, and the future of climate.
Explain IBM's 5 and 5, and what's the theme for this year's 5 and 5?
Sure. Every year for the last 14 years, we've used this opportunity to describe and predict some of the changes that science and technology will bring to transform our lives and society. And this year, it's a particularly important time. We see a tremendous urgency around science. Science matters now more than ever. We're living through a pandemic. We see changes from a changing climate, and we know that bringing science to bear to tackle some of these challenges is incredibly urgent and important. So bringing that global action, using science to play an important role in solving those problems is top of mind. So this year, our 5 and 5 is really about supercharging the scientific method, enabling the acceleration of discovery around new materials that can help promote a more sustainable future. And that new discovery of materials is in a host of areas that we're extremely excited about. And we see an opportunity to apply science through technologies like AI and quantum computing and hybrid cloud.
Let's go into detail about one of the 5 topics, antiviral production and bringing new drugs to the market. What are the challenges we face today, and how is IBM using artificial intelligence and cloud computing to address them?
It's a great question, and we're all living this in response to COVID-19 and feeling the urgency of getting treatments, cures, vaccines to market as quickly as possible. So clearly, our ability to apply an accelerated discovery process to this challenge is just of the utmost importance. It's our prediction and our belief that over the next several years, we will be able to facilitate the generation of new treatments to aid physicians and frontline workers to combat the novel life-threatening diseases like what we're struggling with today at a scale that goes beyond where we are today. For example, to create a new drug to reach the market, it takes over $2.6 billion and over 10 years typically today. We can't wait that long. So AI, analytics, data, hybrid cloud can enable us to leverage real-world evidence, massive amounts of data that are available today to get to outcomes faster. Let me give you an example, right? If we look at drugs that have been approved for treatments today already, we can repurpose some of those with the appropriate analysis to enable more rapid clinical trials and regulatory reviews. And that's one way in which we can speed the outcomes for a better result for all.
What are some of the 5 and 5 success stories from past years?
There are a number of exciting ones where we look at improving the reduction of plastics in the world. We're predicting how we can optimize environmental solutions. We can feed the world. Each of these predictions has been about how technology can be revolutionary. The technology itself is advancing, and the applications are ones that we see have a critical opportunity. If I look at the AI and cloud technologies of today, right, we are accelerating the process of discovery. And some of these applications, whether it's for better batteries, for better fertilizers to feed the world, solutions to improve the manufacturing process in semiconductor manufacturing. In each one of these cases, we're using AI to ingest information from all sorts of sources, publications and patents and more, We're using AI-driven simulations and even quantum computing to be able to enhance that knowledge. And then we're applying automation to test and validate many of these hypotheses and solutions that can get us to better outcomes. And each of those is such an important and compelling opportunity that we're really excited to enhance both the technology and the outcomes.
Where can our audience go to learn more about the IBM 5 and 5?
So the research website, research.ibm.com, will take you to much more information, including videos, blogs, and details on each of our predictions and the underlying technologies for accelerating discovery.
Dr. Kathryn Guarini, Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Impact Science at IBM Research. Thanks again for joining us, Kathryn.
Thank you.
And you can find more of my interviews right here or at tonyahall.net. Thanks for watching.